Alright, next class in the document is the Ranger, the explorers of the wilderness, who are adept at surviving in the wild and hunting various monsters. Rangers in 5th edition were definitely the most ridiculed and messiest class in the game that saw many a UA, feature revision, and homebrew fixes in its day, and this new version of 1D&D actually seems to be an improvement overall, though, I don't know, there's something about it that is not really wowing me about this class. I'm still not really quite sure if I'd call it a home run, though it is definitely an improvement. Like the Bard before, Ranger kept all of its armor and weapon proficiencies, saving throws, and they can take 3 of a selected number of skills, as well as the multi-classing requirements are still the same as before. They are also quite a bit more front-loaded this time around. They get spellcasting at level 1 this time. Plus they can choose cantrips as well, starting at 1st level. The prepared spell list method is the same as the Bard, though this time they can choose any primal spell that is not evocation, which I think is better than the Bard spell choices, since that was definitely a lot more confusing, given the more limited option of spell schools, but even still, I'd rather just have class-specific spell lists at this point. What is cool, though, is that the favorite enemy at 1st level is finally based around Hunter's Mark, as they will always have that spell prepared, and you don't have to concentrate on that spell. It's just a great ability all around now. Not only that, but they also get expertise at 1st level. So yeah, they got a lot to satiate them at 1st level. Rangers get fighting styles at 2nd level, which have mostly been the same as before, including archery, defense, and 2-weapon fighting, though they're missing dueling this time around, which I wouldn't mind if they bring back. Rangers also get their subclass at level 3, with features at 6th, 10th, and 14th, much like the Bard. They get feats at the same levels as well, and extra attack at 5th level, which is pretty much standard fare there. They get a feature called Roving at level 7, which gives Rangers a 10-foot improvement speed to their walking, as well as equal climbing and swimming speeds. They get Tireless at level 11, which gives them temporary HP whenever they finish a short or long rest, and they can decrease exhaustion on a short rest, which, by the way, exhaustion has been changed to now add a penalty to d20 rolls equal to their exhaustion level, and the cap is now 10 instead of 6, which honestly, definitely one of the best changes in this entire 1D&D document. I really love it. Nature's Veil is at 13th level, which will allow you to turn invisible when you spend a spell slot, which is actually a nerf, since originally it was a bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And now you essentially have to spend a spell slot in order to actually use this. Granted, the original one turned you invisible until the start of your next turn instead of the end, like this one does, but still, being forced to use a spell slot for this type of change is, I don't know, it feels a little raw to me. You really don't have to do that to the Ranger again, guys. Aside from that, Feral Senses is now at 15th level and gives you blind sight within a range of 30 feet, which is incredible. Foe Slayer is moved to 18th level and improves your Hunter Mark's damage from 1d6 to 1d10, so Foe Slayer is still very lame. And that's about it for the Ranger, aside from, again, the level 20th epic boons. And with the slight exception of Nature's Veil and Foe Slayer still being very underwhelming, I think the changes are welcome. But even still, I think Ranger feels a little barren. That might just be because Ranger was just loaded with abilities that were mostly useful in exploration than combat, and while they actually have a good mix of this more now than ever, they're kind of missing in some of those other abilities. Primeval Awareness / Primal Awareness is now gone, Land Stride is now gone, Vanish is now gone. I think if simplicity is what they're going for, and again, a lot of these class features are streamlined to now where there's basically only one of these features per level, I think they did do a good job here. But I think they could also give some of these abilities a bit more of a boost, especially since it seems like some of them are just as underwhelming as before. It's better than the original 5th edition Ranger, but it still feels like it could use a little bit more. Now for the subclass included with the Ranger, we have the Hunter, the standard Ranger that's better at hunting and tracking prey than most. Hunter in 5th edition was kind of this mix match that allowed you to choose different features at different levels. And that's sorely missing, I feel, with this new version, which just cherry picks the most popular choices from each and adds them at the 3rd, 10th, and 14th level features. The 3rd level Hunter's Prey is similar to Colossal Slayer from 5th edition Hunter, and 14th level Superior Hunter Defense is essentially Uncanny Dodge, though you can redirect some of that damage to a foe that's 5 feet away from you. The big changes come with the 6th level feature, which allows you to know the resistances, vulnerabilities, and immunities of the creatures that you have Hunter's Mark on, which I think is a really cool change, and the 10th level feature will now give you Conjure Barrage, which is always prepared for you, and you can downcast the spell the first and second level. Yeah, no other feature like this in the game is like this. This is a kind of a new type of change that we're kind of seeing here with 1D&D, and I think this is pretty much used to help like conserve spell slots, and like, Conjure Barrage is a third level spell, so if you're out at the third level spell slots, you're kind of at a loss of even using this feature. Overall, I think this is a fine feature, though if they would buff Conjure Barrage to where it's not like garbage, then I think this would be a lot better. Overall, I think the Hunter is fine. I love the 6th level feature. I think it's like a really cool change, though I do miss some of that versatility that the 5th edition version had. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this second part of my Expert Classes UA analysis covering the Ranger. Make sure to also check out the other parts of this analysis, the first part covering the Bard, and the third part covering the Rogue and the rest of the document. Thank you and stay cheesy.